Hello everyone, welcome to the second edition of Super Achiever series for Ghoghari Next. હું મિતુલ ઝવેરી અને આજે આપણે મળશું મિસ્ટર હિતેશ ચિમનલાલ દોશી, ચેરમેન એન્ડ મેનેજિંગ ડાયરેક્ટર ઓફ વારી ગ્રુપ, India's largest solar module manufacturer. He holds the bachelor's degree of commerce from Mumbai University. He also holds doctorate in professional entrepreneurship in business management from European Council University. Waaree Group is the India's largest solar PV manufacturer across India. It provides different services like EPC, solar roof, solar water pump and multiple other solar products. It is present across 380 plus locations across India and 60 plus countries internationally. So let's get started. Thank you very much, sir, for your time amid such a busy schedule and a hectic schedule. We are indeed privileged and honored to have your conversation with you today. Starting straight, what everyone is keen and eager to know your journey, starting from an initial investment of 5,000 rupees, running in the streets of Nagdevi, from your initial company of Waaree Instrument to an ambitious 2,000 plus crore group of company that is Waaree Group. So please tell something about yourself, your story, and what we would like to know is how did you get your start?
Thank you again for giving me this privilege and giving this opportunity. I think journey is as simple as most of all we have, coming from the village, staying in the hostel, and then finding one day that you need a money at least to eat in the evening, starting from pav bhaji or something. So journey has started from there, as it was very clear from the day one that I am not going to do the job. So I was been here in one of the trust in the Mahajan Vidyalaya, and when I went there to meet the trustee, he said, you improve your handwriting, then I will give you the job. But that was very clear, I'm not going to do that. So started trading in the hostel, whatever was possible, to make sure that I have some money to take care of my day-to-day requirements. And things has moved to the Nagdevi, as you rightly said, from the table place of 750 rupees a month, and on those days it was difficult to pay that 750 also. But it was very clear that if we are right, the opportunities are much higher than even somebody can dream of it. So moved to the trading of the pressure and temperature gauges with the help of my cousin from the Rajkot. And when I entered in the line, I found that the challenge is the range, challenge is the supply. So I was spending a lot of days in Calcutta to get the material and bring it to Nagdevi and sell in Nagdevi. And the journey started, imports, then manufacturing, taking almost 55% market share of India, export to 60 plus countries. And I have been traveling, so probably 20 days, more than 65 countries I have traveled. So this journey has continued, and in that continuous automation, new products was the day-to-day work. Solar came in between in 2007. 2008 we set up the first factory for the European market. On those days there was no business for solar in India, and started growing solar. 2011 it became a passion than the business. So sold the flagship company Waaree and Instruments Limited on those days, and started growing into the solar non-stop, and that's going on.
Excellent, sir.
Yeah.
So while I'm conversing with you, the aura, your aura, the positive vibes and the positive energy, based on the journey, what you explained itself is, it's creating that positive vibe and energy in the people. For the audience also who is viewing you right now, it's a great honor to have you and get to know about your journey so far. So you mentioned about your hurdles. You mentioned that idea kicked in. So what was that? What does that push you to deal with such hurdles, and what was the major hurdle you faced in this journey, and how did you dealt with them?
No, there was no hurdle.
Okay.
I never think anything is the hurdle. That's a journey, right?
Correct.
તમારે પગપાળા સંઘમાં જવું છે અને ચાલવાની જો હર્ડલ હોય તો પગપાળા સંઘમાં જવાની જરૂર નથી, રાઈટ? એકાશનું કરવાનું છે તો એ હર્ડલ નથી. If you want to be an entrepreneur, first thing you should be very clear in your mind કે આખી દુનિયામાં 2% ઉપર એન્ટરપ્રિનર નથી. અને એ 2%માં બી તમારે નંબર 1 પર જો જવું છે તો જેમ મેં તમને વાત કરી કે 30 ઉપવાસ કરવા છે તો પછી એ કરવાના છે, એમાં કંઈ હર્ડલ શું છે? અને જેને કરવા છે એ આરામથી કરે છે. એટલે જનરલ જે લોકો વાતો કરે કે મેં બહુ તકલીફ ને મેં આવા દિવસો જોયા ને મેં આમ કર્યું, એ મારી કોઈ દી સમજમાં આવ્યું નથી. હું હોસ્ટેલમાં હતો ને 5 રૂપિયા નહોતા મારી પાસે. અરે ભાઈ તમે નક્કી કર્યું હતું ને કે તમારે કરવું છે, એટલે એ કોઈ દી ખ્યાલ મને આવતો નથી. એટલે દેર ઇઝ નો હર્ડલ. યુ ચૂઝ ધ પાથ. તમે જંગલમાં જઈને બેસી જાઓ આરામથી તો કોઈ હર્ડલ નથી ને, કોઈ પ્રોબ્લેમ નથી.
So, I mean, as you said, there is no. So, what do you think would you say has been your greatest accomplishment so far? I mean,
Nothing.
What is one characteristics that you believe you, as a leader, everyone should possess?
I have not achieved anything that. Otherwise,
It's very humble of you.
The day I start thinking I achieved something, I will stop myself. So it's very clear. The first thing I spend a lot of time on my self-development, even today, right? So the first thing I will tell the people that you should be very clear that you are always foolish and you are always hungry. If that belief is not there, you will stop your development. The second thing I have seen today in most of our people is giving up.
Correct.
Right? So if you are asking my characteristic, most of the people tell me that कि भगवान एक को तो छोड़ देता है. बोला because I never leave anything, I never give up.
True.
So that's probably the characteristic people may like. Or
So, who are the 3 people whom you admire the most within your journey? Maybe in the business world, or maybe you can call them as a mentor, and then that transformed your journey basically.
everybody is the mentor. So very very difficult to give the names. Every day I see some new videos or new book. I learn from there. But quality of the people I can tell you. You name the people globally, they have the certain qualities. So and you take the one quality of them. That may be the Obama of investment, or maybe the king of, I call the innovation, or the Indian entrepreneurs. Wherever you see, you find one thing from them which you should pick up and the practice. There is not one person or where you need to get everything from.
That's good. So, I mean, moving out of this topic slightly, I mean, more eager to know how were your early childhood days? I mean, what were you more keen of, or how was your family upbringing? Maybe something you remember, instance of your 20s or 30s or 40s. I mean, some cracks, some stories which everyone would like.
You know, I'm coming from the village where there was no electricity, there was no telephone. Talking about my birth in 1967. So the schools in the village was up to the 7th standard. Then you have to go by the cycle to the another village. There are in between the rivers. During the monsoon you cannot go back the home. You have to stay in the school. So we enjoyed that time. I will say that that was also the time when you are going on the cycle and you don't have the tire pressure is not there, puncture, and you have to take the cycle with you. So all that days. But what I loved during all that time was again that hunger was there. So all the time, if I get 2 marks less on our days of the SSC, Bharat Bhai must be remembering that, the maths paper was like 150 in Maharashtra. So I got 148. So whole night I was fighting with the teacher. Finally he gave up. and he gave the 150 back to me. That he said, I cannot give 150, it is not correct from my part. And that was the story. Tell me what is wrong there. And
So that truly reflects your quality. I mean, the never say die attitude, which you mentioned, that hunger. I mean, to fight it out for what is right and get it achieved. That is something. So, seeing your background, I mean, you have been, you are the chairman for GITO. You are, chairman for All India Solar Trade Association. You are a secretary for GITO. You are secretary for Mahavir Jain Vidyalaya.
Right.
You have been the founder of GEAT. and past president for Jeet as well. So how do you manage this work-life balance, and how do you cope up with this ongoing pressures? I mean, Waaree is featuring among the top 10 groups in the company. I mean, there is a pressure, there is an ongoing pressures, and how do you deal with all this? How do you manage that work-life balance?
See, as I told you, decide that you want to give 1 hour in suppose in Mahavijan Vidyalaya, or you want to give 1 day in Jito. Then it's your decision.
Correct.
And then you have to make it sure that you do it. So for me, I have seen that the time is not an issue. Only you decide you want to do it, and you do it. And I have never seen the time management in my life. I see the life management, because even in the everyday morning I speak to my mother also. If somebody decides to be 100 years on this earth, for him the time is 36,500 days only, and you multiply that by number of hours. So what you want to do, that you need to decide.
Exactly.
As soon as you stop giving your time to the things which are not useful for anything, and just to other things, I do not want to name all that things. You have the enough time.
Can very well correlate. I mean, the reason I asked you this question was the young generation which is coping up, the amount of pressure which they handle, and more of a social media things and all those stuff. So prioritizing the time, that is what you say, the prioritizing your focus is what is essential in this particular. So in your journey, what do you think, what role does a God play in your life and your leadership? How do you inculcate the principle of Jainism in your business ethics?
See, if you read little bit Jainism, even at your age, and then go to I have been attending ISB in Hyderabad courses to the IIM, to many. And when you go there and see and think, અરે આ તો બધું આપણામાં આવી ગયું છે, ખાલી પેકેજિંગ અલગ છે.
Correct.
રાઈટ, રોટલા ઉપર આ લોકો ચીઝ લગાવીને આપી દીધું, આપણે તો ઘી ખાતા હતા, એ વધારે સારું હતું. So the problem is there. As soon as you connect with that, you understand, okay, you want a peace of mind, Jainism. You want to balance, you want to handle the employee, it is in Jainism. Right? So in business, whatever you want to do, it is there. But the problem today is that we think that the principles, or in business, Jainism is not useful. Going to the ISB, IIM is more useful. Right?
Yeah.
So that's a new packaging is the time. And I personally think that wherever you want to use a Jainism, it's easy to do it. Easy to do it.
So what's your commitment towards solar sector in India? I mean, coming back to the main topic. So with the government focusing more on the green energy, there is 40 lakh crores revenue being aligned, and with the government of India ambitious project of $5 trillion economy. So where do you stand, Waaree Groups? Where do you feel that Waaree Group stands over there, and how do you plan to contribute for the future in this sector?
We have been constantly working on the product technology, and the result of that, I should share with you that the company like us, we have the more orders than what we can do. Recently we have announced we have received a $2.3 billion orders from the US, and probably this order book created the history. It was never before in at least I can tell you in Asia. That such kind of the order book. So what is behind all this? It is all, the vision is very clear that we want to continue do something better than yesterday. We want to increase our capacities continuously, and we want to give the product where we have at least 99% customer retention. And that has been constantly helping us to be the leader in India. But not only in India, I should share with you, probably this year will be in the top 5 in United States.
That's excellent.
That will be there. So that journey you have to continue doing it.
So whatsoever no doubts and there questions and that, but now there is a question which is something personal for me. I mean, me being belong to Ghoghari community, I'm getting a bit greedy now. I mean, the question I'm also not sure whether I should be asking that particular question over here. But with SEBI giving a nod for 1,500 plus crore IPO,
right?
what is the tip you can share it for the small investors like us or for the Ghoghari community and so on?
See, that's a real problem. That's a real problem. We want to make the money on the tips. Right? So if you are talking about the Guju community, you are talking about the Ghoghari. The day we stop this and we think that I want to do something, right? When we were importing a pressure gauges, I was discussing internally why we cannot be the India's largest exporter. And this why is answered with many things, and we became the country's largest exporter. I'm talking about 15 years back, right? So the day we Guju stop thinking that I will make the money on a tips, at least I will tell you, will not lose the money.
So this is an advice for each and everyone viewing this right now. I mean, never go on test. Yeah?
If you really want to make the money, go on the studies, spend your time, understand the business, understand the industry, understand the future, and then take the decision which is a well-learned decision. Right? So pardon me for giving you this quite blunt answer.
So everyone is rushing for making fast money, but the essence of getting invested or doing the hard work is something which is lost off in this period of time. If you had one piece of advice for some, for the entrepreneurs who are initial grinding days, who are just starting up, what would be that one piece of advice you would like to give for the young entrepreneurs who are coming up right now?
See, I will say entrepreneur is the second thing. First, you need to be qualities to continue to be entrepreneur in this tough time. And I tell my children at the home, the day you stop snoozing your alarms, you have taken your first step.
Exactly.
The day you start committing and doing the same things, you started your entrepreneurship journey. So the first thing I want to say the youth is first that you decide you want to go through this path. And this path you decide that I said you want to be a 30 days upwas, then you should be ready કે મને આઈસ્ક્રીમ નથી મળવાનો, મને પિક્ચર જોવું હોય તો ઘરમાં ટીવીમાં જોઈ શકું પણ થિયેટરમાં નહીં જઈ શકું, અને મને ખાવા નથી મળવાનું. એટલે જો એન્ટરપ્રિન્યોર બનવું હોય તો પહેલાં આ બધી તૈયારી જ જોઈએ. ઇફ આઈ ટેલ કે ભાઈ મારે સેટરડે સન્ડે હોલિડે જોઈએ છે, આજના યુથને મારે 10 થી 5 કામ કરવું છે તો મુશ્કેલ છે. લાઈક આઈ વોઝ ટેલિંગ યુ, since I am working with the large corporates, I am seeing the multi-billionaire. You can sometimes see your watch, it is a 8 a.m. means 8 a.m. It cannot be 8:05 when they are coming to the office. Right? And they are the India's top 2, top 3 guys from whom I am giving you these names. And if they are leaving at 11:30 night at the office, they are leaving at 11:30 only. Right? So if entrepreneurship journey you want to be there, that first you have to decide I will be the of 2%. એટલે બીજા 98% લોકો જે કરે છે peer pressure કે એ તો પાર્ટીમાં જાય છે, રાઈટ, એ રાતના ફ્રેન્ડ સાથે 10 વાગ્યા પછી બી જઈ શકે છે, તો એ તમે 98% કે 2% પહેલાં you have to check the Google if I am wrong, but mostly I think it is not more than 2% of the world population. તો પહેલાં 5 ચૂઝ કરી લેવો પડે. પછી 2% તમારે નક્કી કરવું પડે કે 2% મારે બોટમમાં રહેવું છે, મિડમાં રહેવું છે કે ઉપર જવું છે. અને then everything falls in a place. Now you want to start from where? You want to start with the hard work, you want to start with the dreaming big, you want to be the discipline, right? You want to be the continuous learner, you want to make sure કે ભાઈ કસ્ટમરને આપેલું કમિટમેન્ટ, કે મારા સપ્લાયરને આપેલું કમિટમેન્ટ, કે મારા એમ્પ્લોયને આપેલું કમિટમેન્ટ એકવાર મેં કહી દીધું પછી એમાં કોઈ ફેર નહીં પડે. હું ક્વોલિટીની જ પ્રોડક્ટ વેચીશ, ક્વોલિટીની જ બનાવીશ અને એમાં કોઈ ફેરફાર નહીં કરું. દેટ ઓલ થિંગ્સ વિલ સ્ટાર્ટ ફોલોઈંગ અપ, બિકોઝ ઇટ્સ નોટ અ વન થિંગ કે હું આ કરી લઉં. આજે તમે ક્વોલિટી બનાવી પણ તમારી ડિલિવરી ઓન ટાઈમ નહીં હોય તો નહીં ચાલે, અને ડિલિવરી ઓન ટાઈમ પછી તમે માર્કેટમાં કોમ્પિટિટિવ નહીં હો તો નહીં ચાલે, અને એ 3 કર્યા પછી તમારું માર્કેટિંગ બરાબર નહીં હોય તો એ બી નહીં ચાલે. એટલે એ ઘણી બધી વસ્તુ છે, પણ સૌથી પહેલી વસ્તુ છે કે ભાઈ મને એમ આઈ રેડી ફોર દેટ. અને એ ચોઈસ તમે કરી લ્યો એકવાર કે મારે 30 ઉપવાસ કરવા જ છે, પછી કોણ રોક્યા છે? આપણે જોઈએ છીએ બોમ્બેમાં 1500 થાય ને 2000 થાય.
વેરી ટ્રુ, વેરી ટ્રુ, વેરી ટ્રુ. તમારો અભિપ્રાય ફોર Ghoghari Next. What do you think? Ghoghari Next as a platform, how we can contribute to the lives of the Ghoghari community across the globe. We have just started with the Ghoghari Next as a platform, and our wish and ambition is to have all the Ghoghari across the globe get connected on the single common platform. And ultimately, what we do today is for our own community and for the generations to come. So, tomorrow feedback and abhipray for that Ghoghari Next is.
વેરી ગુડ ઇનિશિયેટિવ. કેમ કે આજે જનરલ બધાને એમ લાગે છે કે દેર ઇઝ સમથિંગ સ્પેશિયલ, એટલે આ ભાઈ આ કામ કર્યું, આ ભાઈ ત્યાં પહોંચી ગયા, એને આ ચાન્સ મળી ગયો, રાઈટ? ગયા તેજીમાં એને બહુ પૈસા બનાવી લીધા એટલે બહુ પૈસાદાર થઈ ગયા. એટલે વી હેવ હન્ડ્રેડ્સ ઓફ રીઝન ટુ મેઝર વિથ અવર ઓન સ્કેલ somebody's success, and we spend lot of time to make the opinion for others. And this, I think, this platform જે તમે બનાવ્યું છે, this will give the opportunity to think the people to measure themselves, and instead of looking to the others they will start looking into their inside. કે ભાઈ જે મેં તમને અત્યારે 2-4 વાતો કરી કે હું બી આવું કરું છું, મેં નક્કી કર્યું હતું, રાઈટ? કે હું બી અલાર્મ સવારે ઉઠીને મારું પોતાનું કમિટમેન્ટ, મેં 6 વાગ્યાનું પોતે અલાર્મ મૂક્યો છે અને હું પોતે જ સવારે ઉઠીને પહેલું કામ કરું છું કે મારું કમિટમેન્ટ તોડવું છે, મારે પહેલું સ્નૂઝ પછી ઉઠવું છે, રાઈટ? તો આ બધા જે પોતાના કમિટમેન્ટો તરફ માણસ જોઈ શકે, ધ્યાન આપી શકે, એ માટે આ બહુ સારું પ્લેટફોર્મ છે. અને આઈ થિંક વી શુડ મેક ઇટ મોર એન્ડ મોર ટુ સી ધ ઇનસાઇડ દેન ધ આઉટસાઇડ વર્લ્ડ. દેટ વિલ હેલ્પ અ લોટ ટુ ધ પીપલ.
One last message you would like to give to the Ghoghari community as a whole?
No, I don't have that knowledge or that thing, but I can tell you what is the need today. The today need is the opportunity. આપણે પહેલાં એમ કહેતા હતા કે ભાઈ એ લોકો આવ્યા ત્યારે બહુ ઇઝી હતું, ધોતી લોટો લઈને આપણા બધા મુંબઈમાં આવ્યા ત્યારે, અને હવે ડિફિકલ્ટ છે. આઈ થિંક ધીસ ઇઝ નોટ કરેક્ટ. કારણ કે ત્યારે ટોટલ ઇકોનોમીની સાઇઝ જે હતી અને આજે જે સાઇઝ છે એ 100 ટાઈમ્સ મોટી થઈ ગઈ છે. અને જ્યારે આપણે એમ કહીએ કે 100 રૂપિયા ઉપર 5% ગ્રોથ અને 1000 રૂપિયા ઉપર 5% ગ્રોથ, એટલે ગ્રોથના નંબર્સ ઘણા મોટા થઈ ગયા છે. એટલે જેટલા બી આપણા લોકો છે એમને આ એક વસ્તુ વિચારવી જોઈએ કે જે ગ્રોથ ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટીઝ 50 વર્ષ કે 100 વર્ષ પહેલાં હતી એના કરતાં અત્યારે 1000 ગણી મોટી છે. નંબર 1. નંબર 2, ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રી જે લોકો સરખી રીતે કામ કરે છે, પ્રિન્સિપલ્સથી, વેલ્યુઝથી કામ કરે છે, એને ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝ પછી એ TCS હોય કે ઇન્ફોસિસ હોય, એ આપણા જ લોકો આપણે શેર લઈને એમને બનાવીએ છીએ. એટલે બહુ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ છે આપણી માટે કે એ સમજવાનું કે કોઈ શોર્ટકટ કે કોઈ ટીપથી ઇન્ફોસિસ નથી બનતું, નથી TCS બનતું કે નથી બીજી મોટી કંપનીઓ બનતી. એટલે આપણે અત્યારે આપણી માટે આ ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી છે. નંબર 1, ઘોઘારીના છોકરાઓ બી ઉબર બનાવી શકે છે, ઘોઘારીના છોકરાઓ બી ગૂગલ બનાવી શકે છે. ખાલી એ સપનું જોવાની જરૂર છે, અને એ સપનાની પાછળ જો નહીં જોવાનું જ આપણે બંધ કરી દઈએ કે હું આપણામાંથી કેટલા લોકો છે જે વિચારી શકે આજે કે હું આ કરી શકું એમ. સિદ્ધાર્થભાઈ જે તમે વાત કરી, મને એમનો પહેલો ઇન્ટરવ્યૂ લીધો, સિદ્ધાર્થભાઈ જે કર્યું એવું વિચારવાવાળા ઘોઘારીના આપણે 1000 છોકરામાંથી 10 છે આપણી પાસે, 100 છે, અને 1000 કેમ નથી? આ જો આપણે જે દિવસે ઘોઘારીમાં વિચારવાનું ચાલુ કરી દઈશું, અને શું અટકે છે? અટકે તો બધા બેઠા જ છે. તો બહુ ક્લિયર મેસેજ છે કે બહુ મોટા સપના જોવાની જરૂર છે, બહુ મોટું આપણે કરી શકીએ છીએ. જે અટકાવે છે આપણું, જે મેં કીધું ને કે સવારે આપણી જાતને જે ઉઠીને આપણે અટકાવી દઈએ છીએ, એ અટકાવવાને ખાલી બહાર કાઢવાની જરૂર છે. બાકી ઘોઘારીની $1 બિલિયન કંપનીઓ શું કામે ન બને એનો જવાબ આપણે ગોતવાની જરૂર છે. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks.
It was indeed a pleasure talking to you. I mean, just like your tagline says, one with the sun. I mean, you have been a truly shining sun. I mean, and it has been, you will be a motivation for the generations to come. I mean, thank you for inspiring all of us and keeping this word. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you everyone, and thanks the entire Ghoghari Samaj also.
Thank you very much. Thank you.